Hello everybody!
Welcome back to our channel!
Today we're getting spicy.
Oh yeah, story time.
Yeah, today we're going to be talking about how we actually started traveling.
Yeah.
And then how we actually started traveling alone, which are two completely different things.
Yeah, because we're pretty young to be traveling together.
Yeah, and excessively. I think we have a problem.
So back in 2018, for his 19th birthday, I had to think of a present for him. And he's a very complicated person. So I was like, you know what? Forget this gift nonsense.
Yeah.
Let's book a trip. So then I had to plan everything out because my idea was to like buy the ticket and like just surprise them and take them like, hey, we're going. So I had to look for the time, the date, the place, everything in order to have like all the facts straight and then talk to his mom, which I didn't want to do, but I had to.
Yeah.
Back then I was very scared for her because I didn't really talk to her. Now we're pals. So
I mean, I would hope. It's been 8 years.
Yeah. So I was at college and I was like getting out of class. I'm like, I think this is the time. I have to do it right now. So I called her.
She mustered up the strength for a big fat no.
Yeah, I called her and I was like, hey, like for his birthday, I wanted to buy him a ticket to Florida. We were going this day to this day. We're gonna stay here. We're gonna do this, this, and this. And then she's like, I'm gonna talk to my husband. And I was like, that's it. And then I think she like texted me later on. She's like, yeah, we spoke and that's it. I'm like, oh, I knew it.
Yeah, so like the problem was that she was planning it for my birthday and my sister was turning 16 that year, and so we were planning our sweet 16 for I think June, and we were gonna leave.
In May.
My birthday's in May, and so we were gonna end up leaving I think the last week of May. That's when the trip was planned, May 29th or something like that. And so my mom was like, that is not a good, that's not ideal, because we were practicing like the sweet 16 dancing and all that stuff. And so she needed me mostly because I was the one that was helping her out, like contacting people and stuff. And so for me to leave at like right before was not a good idea.
Yeah, so then I ended up telling him like, oh, like I was gonna surprise you with a gift. I was like, oh, so I was gonna buy you a gift, but I buy you a ticket to Florida, but I guess it didn't work out. And then he got mad or something. I don't know. And then this is your side of the story.
I don't remember any of this.
What do you mean?
I don't remember any of this at all. I just do remember that. I don't know the specifics. I just remember that I think I talked to my grandma and I was like, yeah, I'm not going anywhere. And I guess she talked to my mom. And
she did her grandma magic, you know. Love grandmas. They're the best.
And yeah, I basically ended up going.
Yeah, so I ended up booking the tickets. I'm like, we're going to Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with more people.
Yeah. Obviously we couldn't travel alone because then my parents and his parents would kill us. So we traveled with my brother and my cousin Daisy. You've probably seen them in our videos before. So yeah, that was the beginning of our doom.
Yeah.
That's when we started traveling and traveling and traveling and traveling.
It's a crippling addiction.
Yeah, so that was our first trip. I think the second trip was just us and Brandon.
Yeah, after that we went to Washington, D.C. That was our next trip.
Oh, so it was with Brandon and my other cousin David. And then after that it was with Brandon.
And then we went to Philly after that.
Yeah, so we started traveling with people.
We went to Atlantic City. And then from Atlantic City we went to Philly.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic hit, and then that's when this whole string, this is where all of the like the mess of trip planning became a reality.
Yeah, so back then we didn't have this YouTube channel obviously, but I would always like play around, like, hey, welcome back to our channel, this and that. So then it eventually became true. I was like, hey, we should edit our videos. That's why in the beginning our videos suck.
Please help me. This is torture, please.
So then for us to actually travel together, we started traveling so much that it got to a point like we had to like find their schedule that will work with other people because we couldn't travel alone.
Yeah.
So my brother was in high school at the time and we were in college, so our breaks didn't align with his breaks. My cousin Daisy, she works full-time, so like she can't just randomly take off work. So it was like we didn't want to become a burden to other people, and like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then we had to sit down with our parents and be like, listen.
Yeah, this is not working out.
Yeah, like we tried.
Is anybody gonna cough up $800 to go with us?
Like we tried. Like it's not like we were like, hey, like let's not ask no. Like we actually tried, and it's like it was hard.
Yeah. It's not like people can cough up money to go with us to places. They probably don't want to go there and stuff like that. So it was a problem.
So we had to talk to them and be like, listen, we tried. We did for the past like year, 2 years, whatever it was. 2 years. And we're like, I think it's time.
Yeah, I think it's time to move on.
Together.
I think it's time to let it go.
Yep. So we did a big bang and went to Vegas.
Yeah.
I don't please we went to Vegas.
Yeah. That one.
That was a big issue.
That was a mess.
Yeah, that's when we were originally
planning Vegas was a mess.
California, and that's when the tickets got canceled and whatever.
So we were supposed to go to California.
Expedia was giving us like money for the trip, but then Expedia had a problem. We had to transfer to Alaska Airlines. It was a huge mess.
So we were gonna continue with our traveling with other people for that trip because we were initially going to California and we were gonna go with our cousin, yeah. So we had plans initially, but I think then we canceled it because we decided because of COVID, and it was like, this is not a good idea to go through with it. Yeah. And yeah, then the lockdown ended up happening, and then they closed down California. So it was like, good thing we actually decided to cancel it, because we could have gone, but they would have shut down everything while we were there. It was a mess. If I'm not, yeah, it was a mess. It was a disaster.
Yeah,
so
you guys know. You guys went through it.
Yeah. So we were left triplets with credit because they actually granted us credit based on COVID.
They gave us back our hotel money, but the flight it was just credit, so we still had to book it.
Yeah, so we got refunded for the hotel, but we got credit for the flight. It was Alaska Airlines, and that's when the disaster hit. Yeah. Because we were like, okay, well, I guess no traveling for right now, but what are we gonna do from now until like when we do travel again? So we were like, okay, well, let's figure out where we're gonna go next with this credit. And so we were like, well, let's try planning California again in the future. And we're like, well, okay, in a year this will be fine, right?
It's 2021, I'm still here.
We have yet to go to California, but we figured out that Expedia, when you use credit with Expedia, they have a select list of flights for you to choose from.
They raise the price.
And they raise the prices, so you're gonna end up spending more.
So let's say the trip was $200. On Expedia, it would be like $500. So it's like you're spending out of pocket.
So yeah, so I caught on to that. So I got that grudge with Expedia because we tried booking.
Comes out here.
We tried booking another trip with Expedia, and I looked up like the flight and everything, like as if I was a regular old customer. And then I was like, yes, I'd like to use my credit for this flight. And they're like, oh no, to use your credit, you need to choose from predetermined list of flights for people with credit. And I'm like,
yeah, it was horrible.
So that's when I got in contact with Alaska Airlines. And that's when they were like, we can handle this for you.
Yeah. Oh, you know what it was? The process of taking it from Expedia to Alaska Airlines took forever. It was
Seems they don't get along, or Expedia just likes being annoying. But Alaska Airlines, this is what I liked. I liked working with Alaska Airlines. They were very helpful. And so we actually ended up transferring all of the Expedia credit into Alaska Airlines credit. So now we could just use a book with Alaska Airlines, and that's what we ended up doing for Salt Lake. We just booked it straight from them.
We ended up booking to Las Vegas, but yeah, we ended up booking because the process took just so long that the prices were going to increase, and we're like, you know what, let's just book it.
Yeah, we needed content. And so we were
we
like,
are a travel YouTube, so we need to travel.
We needed content, and we were like, well, where should we go next and hope that nothing bad happens?
Yeah.
I guess Las Vegas it is. So we went to Las Vegas. We actually asked around if people wanted to go to Vegas. Nobody wanted to go to Vegas, or well, the people's schedules didn't align to go to Vegas. So we were like, well, now what? So that's when we were like, listen, we have to keep traveling, and we cannot wait for other people.
Yeah, like if I took
open up for
Brandon,
us.
he's not 21. So like what's he gonna do?
In Vegas, yeah.
And like he was in school. It's like he had to take off the days of school. So it was like it's not fair to you either.
So yeah,
we were kind of forced to travel together.
Forced, yeah. No, that's literally what ended up happening. We ended up being forced to travel, like on our own, I guess.
So if you came onto here to give you tips on how to ask your parents, we don't have any.
Yeah, there's no tips here.
We were forced
There's no tips here. We ended up being forced to travel alone.
Sorry, we couldn't help.
Yeah, you're on your own here. But yeah, that's actually how we ended up traveling alone, and that started the whole string of booking trips.
Yep.
Out of nowhere. Woo, woo. Yeah.
So yeah, that was our little fun story time. Juicy.
Yeah.
We spilled the tea.
That's how we ended up traveling alone. Not what you expected, huh? You expected some tips, right? No, you're gonna have to struggle.
Yeah, struggle like we did. Unless you guys are forced to travel by yourselves too.
Yeah, unless like another pandemic hits and nobody wants to travel with you. Yeah, that's basically it.
I hope you guys enjoyed our story time. Hopefully it helped you guys. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let us know if you want any more story times of our juicy lives. Bye.